And we are live. Greetings and salutations, Focus Up family. Welcome to the July 15, 2023 installment of the Focus Up Show. We thank you for tuning in with us live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube and various other platforms and catching up with us on replay. And we ask that you click that like, subscribe, that bell, and share to support and maintain your weekly Focus Up fix. I am Mr. Nice Guy. Nice is the word Saint spelled backwards. And my co-host today, back from vacation, the lovely First Lady J, Brother Walk, and El Pooh. What it do?
Good morning, fellas. How are you guys?
Great. I'm wired on one. Great time. Yesterday was my birthday. Turned up, got it in. I'm chilling. It was a good week. Miami was lit too. Yeah, I seen you out there, First Lady. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell what you was doing out there. Yeah.
That's
what
right.
happens in Miami stays in Miami.
Y'all were missed, but me and El Pooh, we held it down. What it do, El Pooh?
Yes, sir. It's a beautiful day out here in Southern Cali, and it's hot. And, let's go.
And I would also like to introduce, we're going to have another co-host today, Brother Joshua, student of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan and licensed general contractor at the Builder Construction Company. Sorry about that. We're going to let Brother Joshua in. Welcome to the show, brother.
Yes, sir, bro. I appreciate it. I got to open up with, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. Glad to be on the show. I appreciate the invite, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's right. So let's get it on. Let's get on to any new. Oh, yes. And Brother
Real quick, let me just speak on Brother Joshua. I knew this brother since like 2015. He was a young soldier. I think the first time I met him, he was the president or something of the Black Student Union at Sac City College. Correct me if I'm wrong, brother. But he was out there making shit happen, bringing the youth up to the African market, and then he got into the African market, started selling that banana bread. Oh my God, that banana bread with the nuts, and then he made some lemonade. Awesome. This brother is a mighty young soldier who's been soldiering. He used to have dreadlocks, and now he shaved the dreadlocks. Now he in that FOI uniform. He doing what's the name of that brother? 19 Keys. He out there with brother 19 Keys. Had the business on that level with him when he came to Sacramento. He worked with brother 19 Keys. This brother's always out there. He worked with brother Barry, the voice of the youth. He was representing out there with him when we had events back in the day with the Wukusu group. He was out there doing his business. So much respect to that brother Joshua. I'm looking forward to the information he can provide and share. So let's go, brother Joshua.
Yes, sir, bro. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it, brother.
That's right. So let's bring up in the news, El Pooh. We got the first topic. First Lady.
The first topic we have Dwight Howard. Former NBA player Dwight Howard has found himself at the center of controversy after sharing a video on his Instagram. The video showcases Howard working out and engaging in activities with his children. But in a particular clip, his 9-year-old son, David, is seen crying and begging to stop his workout. In this clip, Dwight Howard is pushing his son extremely hard to work out. The son is crying and saying that he can't, and, like it was too much for him. And I, as a parent, saw somebody that was trying to push his child to be great I looked at that video on so many different levels. I kind of looked at it as how Joe Jackson was pushing his sons to be great. Serena Williams' father was pushing them. And then I also looked at how some people in other countries push their children. And I saw a father trying to do that. As a mother, I can't say he did too much. If his child was really in pain, that's another thing. I say at points that we can go too far, but I can't say that he did too much. I don't know exactly what the lady in the video was saying. Perhaps you can pull it up and play it, and we can listen to what was said.
I hate watching this video. He sound like a little.
Come on. I can't do it. No, I can't. I can't. What do you want me to do?
Don't worry about that. I want you to do it till I tell you to stop.
Don't
start. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Pick it up. Pick it up. That's it. That's it.
I can't.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, enough of this. Enough of this. Can't stand that little fake cry. Shut up. You know what this is? Dwight Howard is off. He's back at home. He's full-time parenting, and he looking at his kids like, y'all some spoiled little lazy kids. And what he was trying to show the young man is no one cares about your tears. I remember it was one of my son's friends here, and we had a little something going down, and he started crying. And I was looking at him like, look, you a man. No one cares when men cry. What are you doing? Get it together. Get your stuff right. And that's what Dwight Howard was showing that little dude. And he need to learn that. And women, y'all need to stay out the way. And one more thing about Dwight Howard, he's trash as a basketball player.
That's disrespectful. But look,
I had to put that in there.
As a parent, I'm sure that I have controversial ways of parenting that, you know, society have issue with. And there's certain things that I know that you can get in trouble for. So I would tend to keep that out of the spotlight. I would try not to bring something to attention that could potentially come back to me because, you know, there's been a lot of blowback. You know, a lot of people think he's being abusive to that child. And, you know, there's this thing called Child Protective Services that you could really, you know, expose yourself as far as the wrath. So, again, if you want to be tough on your child, give your child tough love, you know, especially if they like some cushy, spoiled little kid, that you know, you do what you got to do. But, you know, probably don't go put it out there for the world to see to potentially have blowback on. You know, do what you got to do. I
agree on that part.
Yep. I don't see anything wrong with what he did, except that he put it up on the internet. He wasn't abusive or anything like that. He was just, you know, telling this kid to strive to do better and everything. That's all good. But when you start putting things on the internet, you know, you open yourself up for criticism. And, you know, and I don't think that's a place for people to be putting their business on the internet. That's what I'm saying. Any of your family business shouldn't be going on the internet. That's something that should have been kept in the home, period. That's the only problem I have with it.
Agreed.
That's it. All the comments on that. All right. So going to go on to the next one. You got something to say about that, Brother Joshua?
No, I agree with everybody. I think everybody laid it out fine, brother. I think that, like you said, the internet is the issue. You know, you're not going to understand your gifts and your talents unless you put under trial, under hardship. And that's what he was doing for his son. His son was using that can't word and what he couldn't do. And he was trying to get that can't out of him and let him understand that you can achieve and you can do what you put your mind to. So I agree. You know what I'm saying? That's between him and his son. He trying to make his son a god. He trying to make his son great. But in these times that we live in, you most definitely shouldn't put it on the internet because them folks will come take your kid. You know what I'm saying? People gonna have their own opinions, and like everybody on this channel already said, just keep it off the net, brother. You gonna get yourself in trouble.
And like Walk said, you know, that kid's going to be all right. And the fact of the matter is he may appreciate it. If he pushes him to another level and you know, he gets real results from all of this stuff, he'll be able to look back on it and appreciate what was done. So that's my further take on that situation. But next topic, First Lady.
Okay. LA sheriff punches the black woman in the face. There was an incident where a woman was holding her 3-week-old child, and the police wanted her to put the child down, and she did not put the child down, and she got punched. I believe we have a clip on that incident.
Okay, so we don't have any sound on this, but situation. Okay, so they're backtracking. So this is sort of like at the end, but I think this clip is gonna. Here we go. So you see now she's holding the child, and they're getting her to trying to force her to do some type of compliance, some type of situation, and she's trying to, I guess, talk it out. And then ultimately, one of them just fires on her, and they wrench the child away and all this other stuff. So I mean, this is a lot of activity to be doing with the child in your hand. Go ahead, Walter.
This is just another case of like police. They don't look at us, especially white police, as we're even human, because they would not have done that to a white woman. We know that. It could have been a kid. There are videos of them putting their foot on the necks of children, kids like 11 years old. This is just another example of that. And you can say they should get better training to de-escalate situations, because that was totally unnecessary. Like I done dealt with black women my whole life. I done diffuse stuff just verbally. Just like calm down. What are they doing? There was no reason to hit a woman while she's holding the baby. Totally out of line. But it's just another example of this is how they look at us. And they know they can get away with it. And they will. That's all I gotta say.
El Pooh, you got something to say about that?
Wake up back here, Floyd X. Wake up back here.
I got something to say. It's crazy because if you get caught on video committing any type of crime, they coming to get you and they're going to arrest you and prosecute you. When they get caught on video, they have to have a investigation, and that's the two different levels of justice that we have to deal with.
Yeah, because that investigation is kind of played out in the video. But you got something to say about that, Brother Joshua?
Oh, yes, sir, man. I think I was watching a video recently of Dr. Ava, Sister Dr. Ava, and she was talking about how we, in a way, enable police violence upon ourselves when we're not unified, And she talks about how the poverty in our community leads to these police calls and allows police to get into our communities because of the activities and behaviors we're involved in. This is not blaming the victim at all, but it's to say that if we was more unified, if our communities was more on lock, if we had control, if we had ownership of our communities, then we would have a little more of a defense against police violence. And so like here in Sacramento, we seen the police kill Stephon Clark. The city went up. The city went up in Ferguson. It went up all over the country. And we've been dealing with this problem for a while. So it begs the question, is, are we ever going to get justice integrated amongst these white folks where they got all the power? And then if your conclusion, which all our scholars and intellects have been said since the 1800s, like we integrated America, we always going to have police violence. We always going to be broke. We always going to be dealing with racism. It's permanent. Well, then the only other option is separation.
And brother, you have a point there where it's like with no unity, because like when we see incidents like this, instead of people breaking out the camera and trying to, look at that, you got to approach that. Like there was no way I could have sat back there and watched that cop just punch a sister in the face while she holding her baby. Like we as a community got to come in whole and say, wait, what are you guys doing? Let's watch the incident, get closer so they'll know, like, we not having all of this.
Yes, sir, brother. I think you made the key point. When you recognize her as your sister, then you involved with it. But if she just some B, she just some broad, she just some woman that you don't see no connection to, then you ain't gonna want to do nothing. But if I see that as my sister, then I gotta put the phone down and react.
Right.
So just be careful about that. Be careful about how you interact with them as the initial person. Be careful about how you interact with them as a bystander. But the bottom line is, you do have to insert yourself. And really, the key is de-escalation. That's the thing about it. You treat human beings like human beings. You'd be surprised how cooperative they'll be. But once you start coming at people with this hostile, nasty energy, you shouldn't be surprised how people will basically resist and create all these other issues. But none of that is excuse for punching. I mean, this is where you basically take something away, and no striking, no nothing. So, and we got another situation. Sorry.
Yeah, before we get to the Leslie Van Houten, it was another incident. Run that clip, Mr. Florida. This happened in my hood. This is my hood, Lancaster.
At the
you up back there,
okay, let me speak on it real quick before he runs the clip. Then, he has it.
No, you go ahead, still set it up, because
this was a case that happened in Lancaster, California. Winco Sheriff Department slammed an elderly woman to the ground after a confrontation of her and her husband being alleged of stealing a cake.
No, you can't touch me. You can't touch me. Get down on the ground. Get on the ground. It's already on YouTube. Stop. I don't give a shit. Stop. Stop and you get punched in the face. You punch me and you're gonna get sued too. You already got sued. I got it on camera. Stop.
Now this cat threatened to punch her. I mean, you already had her on the ground. Again, when you're trying to control and subdue some person, striking, one of the comments that Brother Joshua made about if you see somebody as your sister, well, this is where a situation where you see somebody as your mother, or you see somebody as your grandmother, where you got to have that compassion to come in and realize that, look, this is a human being. And this dude was way out of pocket, and then threatening to punch her when you already have her on the ground in the process of restraining her. I mean, Walk talked about training. To me, this is more than training. This is just the issue of just common, simple decencies, common sense, and being a human being. You got to have some type of restraint. You are a servant of the community, so you need to function that way. But
and in the video, really, what happened is they stole a cake allegedly, and the police came. They was arresting her husband, and then once he was cuffed, he ran over to her and dropped her to the ground. Like, if you're watching it from afar, it looked a lot worse. And it's just totally disgusting, just how they view us, where they know they could do stuff like that and just get away with it.
Yeah, yes, sir. I think, I think that we gotta rethink our code, right? We always talk about we need to have a code in the Black community. And in a lot of recent news, we talk about the code where somebody snitched. What is the cultural code for that? You're supposed to cut them off. In some communities, some environments of our people, you're supposed to knock them out. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to delete them. That's the code. You know that if that happens, that's what you're supposed to do. So in these type of situations, if you're around a Black woman, you see a white boy, police officer, judge, I don't care who he is, he put his hands on you, you're supposed to react. You got to react. The code is to react. You can't sit there holding no camera. So the more we put that code amongst ourselves as men and women, understand the code and teach that to our babies, our next generation will be better off handling those situations. True. Supposed to crash out. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say, right? You're supposed to crash out at that moment.
Yeah.
El Poo?
Where you at, El Poo?
Well, the problem is a lot of people are afraid of the gun. That's the problem. And if the police see you as a threat, they might use that gun. But the thing is, if we came in numbers, see, the gun only has a certain amount of bullets. But if it was 30 brothers that came up and approached that and tried to take care of that situation, even the police would think twice. So
yes, sir.
And this is a Winko's. I frequent that Winko's a lot, and that's actually a Winko's too, where a guy was running from the police and he got trapped in one of the pillars. When he got on the roof and got trapped in one of the pillars and kind of cooked himself to death. Like he was there all night. It was that same pillar right there that they've seen in that first video. But yeah, that's Winko's. Yo, we in Lancaster. We going worldwide, baby. Yeah, we.
You know what? That the first incident I think was in Lancaster too, with the baby and everything too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn.
Yeah, y'all got it cracking over there. So
Land cracking.
Lancaster. Yeah.
Okay, so up we have Leslie Van Houten, whose devotion to Charles Manson resulted in her participating in the brutal murders of a married couple inside their Los Angeles home in 1969, is free after spending 53 years in custody. Mind you, she was 19 when she went in. And
yeah, this was a horrific situation. I mean, the La Bianca Tate murders, Charles Manson, he was trying to start a race war, and he told all his followers that this is what we need to do to basically, to start Armageddon off. So they went and killed all of these people, and she was one of the followers. Governor Newsom has been working very hard to make sure like none of these people touched down. I remember, I think there was another one that actually got paroled, and he jumped in and was like, nah. These people should never, if they get out, it's going to be all these problems. So, but he decided with this person, he was going to back down because she really has been demonstrating some type of, serious remorse in community and whatever. Again, I'm this is one of those type of situations where I feel like you did so much. I mean, you killed a pregnant woman. You just went around mass murdering and did all this stuff. And these little kids, they were sitting there laughing and joking about all of this stuff. Man, I have some issues with this stuff. Go ahead, Paul.
I mean, it's easy to show remorse while you're in jail forever. But I do think that she should have been released. I mean, she was 19 years old when this happened. She was like under some spell of some crazy dude. He was a charismatic type of guy that you want to follow. Believe it or not, even though his message was lunatic. Yes. But I think she should be released because that's a long ass time since 19. She was denied parole 5 different times, like a few times. So, but she's free. I mean, she's not gonna be a harm to society, and that's how they do with white folks. They're gonna let them out.
Brother Floyd X, you got something?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to try to help move forward a little faster and jump into the Boosies out of the feds, and then I know brother wants to speak on that real quick. Then E40 got married. He been married for how long? He been married, Mr. Walt?
32 years, June of 1991. Salute to that brother married to a black woman. Y'all hear that out there?
Salute to that brother.
Focus Up Planet. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Get you a sister. Good plan.
Anything you want to say about that, brother Joshua?
Oh, yes, sir. About Boosie, man, I think the lesson with Boosie is just that the hip hop police, man, we've been talking about that since the early 2000s. And we seeing Rico after Rico in the hip hop community. Like, we ain't seeing all these Ricos take place with the pedophiles and the child kidnappers. We don't see it really in no other industry, but we seeing it take place in hip hop, of course, because of murders and, drugs and stuff. But that means our brothers got to be smarter. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said in the early 2000s and even early 90s, he was warning the hip hop community, and he said, accept the responsibility of leadership. So like there should be, we should own that community. The community shouldn't be ran and owned by white folks and white Jewish people and all these label owners. We should control it from a business standpoint. And if we don't control it from a business standpoint yet, we should at least control it culturally. But right now, it seems like it's kind of wild, and white folks could take advantage of that. The state could take advantage of that and come in and get all our brothers on these RICO charges and send them to jail for all that time. So we just got to be smarter as a people how we moving around and know that anything you post on the internet, they will use that against you in the court of law.
Yes, sir. And real quick, let me speak on that real quick. That was where we got the Wukusu from. Was back in the day when the Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad spoke. He said a message to the hip hop, to our hip hop youth, and he was saying that y'all must wake up, y'all must clean up, and y'all must stand up. And he was saying that that's what y'all need to do, as opposed to being out here all this flexing and all this wasting time killing each other. So I just want to speak on that real quick.
I want to speak on Boosie. Hey, brother, give me your phone. Give me whatever social media he got. He needs to give it to. Just relinquish it, because he be on there doing the most. He know the police watching him. He know the police watching him, and it's suspected that the guy that was filming him was an informant. That's suspected. I shouldn't probably even be speaking on it, but it's alleged. But if you know the police is watching you, he kind of needs to chill a lot, because we've been seeing and hearing a lot of Boosie for the last 3-4 years. Cool. He been on the Instagram line since the pandemic kicked in.
Yes,
like,
sir.
Come on, brother, just relax.
All right, real quick, want to give one more acknowledgement to Mr. E40 and his wife. I don't know his wife's name, but shout out to E40 and his wife. 30 years plus years. We know that the black man and the black woman family is the foundation of community. If we want to build community, we got to build a family. So shout out to E40, and let's
sort of remind me of my brother who was married for 24 years coming up.
25 years come November. Married 25 years, brother. Yes, sir.
Right.
I'm so jealous. I'm envious. Hey, I say that to them all the time. To them coming, I envy that. I'm so lonely.
All right, Mr. Nice Guy. Let's get into these topics, brother.
All right. So our first topic: are men intimidated by independent women? I'm sure that there are some men that may feel some type of intimidation by someone they feel will look down upon them. It depends, because the fact of the matter is there's some people that feel like, oh, they're too uppity for me or too stuck up, so I'm sure that some people will be intimidated by it. But we know that a lot of these women, they be hooking up with these bums, so they really shouldn't be very intimidating. You got these strong, independent women hooking up with these bad boys that really got nothing going on. So really, there should be no intimidation. But I understand that I'm sure that there is on some levels. What you got to say about that, Brother Walt?
I feel men are. Now, of course, when I say that, it's not everybody. Of course, that goes without saying. But
sounds like it depends.
Men are. I've seen it with my own eyes. I got family members who are doing real good, and they had guys that was like, damn, you need to just stay home and cook and clean while I go to work. And they looking like, nigga, I make more money than you. What you talking about? That's them. Some guys are just built that way. Till they see a woman thriving and striving and getting it where it's too much. They can't handle it. And then they go do some goofy stuff. I've seen it even with my ex. She was doing good. She was doing fly. She had her little red Mustang. And her dude was like, we can't afford that. You should take it back. And she took it back. I was like, you took it back? That was stupid. You got me twisted. But that's what happens. Some people are just like wired that way. But here's the thing. I'm a little different because I got a prerequisite. To be with me, you got to make more than me. That ain't hard with my broke ass.
You got to take on that, Brother Joshua.
Yes, sir. I think in general we could say that, but it definitely depends on each situation. I think that if the men aren't also independent, then it applies pressure to them be a little bit more insecure about the sister having everything and him basically not having anything or being taken care of by the sister. So I think that in those relationships, like if a brother's gonna enter that relationship, he got to be comfortable with it. And he has to understand what he's getting himself into. The sister, the same. Because it could be cool. Like the brother could get in a relationship and not really have too much of a problem with it. But then the sister could start to feel a certain type of way and start to flex on him, demean him, kind of challenge his manhood. So both the sister and the brother got to know how to deal with each other in that relationship, especially because we have society standards. You know what I'm saying? Like we know in this society, the man's supposed to be the protector, the provider. In Islam, we taught the man's supposed to be the maintainer of a woman. but that doesn't necessarily mean that you got to have the most money. You just got to know how to take care of her, how to maintain that woman. And so I think you got to have a lot of conversations with her. You got to see where her mindset is, where her headspace is at, and she got to see where yours is. But I think that in general, I think that what was the question? Are men insecure about independent women?
Well, men
Are men
intimidated.
intimidated? Yeah, I think in general they would be if they're not independent as well, for sure.
Gotcha. Now, Brother Floyd X, you done popped up, so that makes me feel you got something to say. And I will say, First Lady, I normally go to you first, but I'm gonna come to you last because this is about the men being intimidated. So go ahead. What you got to say, Brother Floyd X?
Just say, let me say this. El Pooh, get the horn ready. Men are not intimidated by independent women. Boys are.
Ooh.
That is a horn.
Where's my? Let me further elaborate on that. Listen, man, you out there with your woman. You want your woman to be semi-independent of you and not be counting on you for every need, but you want her to know that you're there for her. Every time when I'm home and I'm walking outside, my wife, when she wake up to go to work, I'm up. When I'm off on my Fridays, she get up to go to work, I'm up with her. She walking out, I walk her out to the car and open the door for her. I'm not intimidated by her. She got a good job. My wife got a good job. She make good money. And, I'm not intimidated by her. I'm not sitting out here like, damn, why she make so much money? You know what I'm saying? You got to have a good woman. If they making good money, good job. Good job. We love working women if that's what you want. But my wife, she does not have to work. If she stopped working tomorrow, she does not have to work. So I'm not intimidated by her. I love her. And I think that most of us men out here, we should not be intimidated by strong. I'm taking that back. I'm not using that word no more because our sisters, I've learned that our sisters don't like to be called, our soft sisters. Shout out to our soft sisters. Yeah. And we're going to do that. I'm going to leave it right there. And I want to hear, I'm so anxious to hear what the First Lady got to say.
Wait a second. Before we do that, we got El Pooh. What you got to say?
I don't have much to add to that because y'all done framed it the right way right there. So, insecure males are, they may be intimidated. That's all I can add. But go ahead, First Lady.
Ooh, y'all putting me on the hot seat here.
Let's go, First Lady. Let's go.
That's kind of like a yes or no question. It's situational. I could see where men can be intimidated because they don't want to be demasculated or emasculated, whichever way you want to put it, which in some cases that is what women do. I would say yes. Men are intimidated. They really are because they don't want to be demasculated. There are a lot of women that are cocky with their independence, and it makes it hard for a man to want to approach a woman. I always say your attitude determines your altitude. So it's a way you present yourself to that man to keep him from being intimidated. It does. My answer is yes. I can go on and on, but it's also an individual thing. Like Mr. X said, the boy versus the man. I have to give him hands down for that because that's where it plays a role. If you're confident about yourself, then you go into that relationship with that woman, and you nobody has to be feel intimidated. You both can bring what you have to bring to the table. But I've seen with my own eyes where men, or even in a relationship, they may have been the breadwinner in the beginning. And when that woman becomes that breadwinner, they do feel intimidated, because they feel like because they are the head of the household, they are the one that's supposed to be making that big money. But you are now one. That money is within that one household. So there is no need to be intimidated.
That's the key point. Go ahead, brother. You have something to say, Walt?
This was like an episode on Martin, if you guys remember, that's why that show Martin was very important to Black culture. But Martin, he had a Black woman.
That's right.
You heard that, Milford? Anyway.
Calling out names.
I'm calling out names now. But remember that episode where Gina was making more money than him and he was feeling inadequate. But they resolved it just in his own way. But I kind of lost my point where I was trying to go. Damn.
Come on, Mr. Brother Joshua, what you got to say, brother?
Oh, yes, sir. I just wanted to add to the conversation. Do we think that because it's like it's a real thing going on that black men in particular, but men are trending downwardly and women are trending upwardly. But here in America, like you can trace history all the way back to where, you know, when Welfare Act came, they said they gave the sister a little bit of help, sustenance for her and the kids, but kicked the black man out the house. So is it a plan of the government? Is it a plan of white folks to keep the black man a little bit more broker so that he can't be the maintainer, he can't, you know, kind of be that figurehead of his household? Is that a part of it?
I hear you.
Yeah.
Let me bring up the comment real quick from our brother from La Brea Trucking. Once a dude realizes that a young lady was raised with the dad in the house, that's when a man is intimidated. I completely disagree with you, brother. I completely disagree with that. Completely. Okay. So when the brother
respect, block him from
Oh my goodness.
No. Oh, see, listen, when we talking about being intimidated, like what Brother Joshua was saying, as far as is the government working? Us as men, we should not and cannot be intimidated by our women. We have to look. You go take care of your business. What you bring here, it belongs to the house, and we're gonna build this house. You can't intimidate me if you're making twice what I'm making. I'm not intimidated as a man. You should not be intimidated by your woman. I don't care what she makes. She's a miss. She could be Beyonce, and you could be A$AP Rocky, like A$AP Rocky and Rihanna. You think? No, that's a different subject.
You should not, but the reality is there are a lot of men that are.
Let's get to the root of it, First Lady. Let's get to the root. Why they intimidated by a woman?
You tell me. You're a man.
They're not men.
Yeah,
that's my answer.
That's
my answer.
Well, the fact of the matter is, like, you guys make the big point is that, look, you're a family unit. All that, if one person is making more money, the family's making more. Yes. And as Walk brilliantly pointed out in the earlier show, he goes, look, a man can still be the head of the household. He can still provide those great, protection roles and all that stuff. Has nothing to do with money. So the bottom line is, if the corporation is going to be enriched by having more income, we support more money. But as far as you being a man, your role is independent of that. You can still be a man, and that's how you need to be a man. But whatever makes your family stronger, that's something that should be pursued.
Well, here's the thing, though. If a woman is in a family environment, it shouldn't be an independent woman. I figure an independent woman is.
Oh, damn, where's the horn? Where's the horn? Brother said, if
y'all notice the people running the show, they quick to get on.
I know.
You got to be able to call it. Listen, if you're going to drop a bar and you're going to drop a bar, we got to be intentional about what we're doing, brother. You're going to drop a bar, let us know. I'm about to drop a bar. Get the horn ready.
but the question might be, are some men irritated by independent women?
Ooh.
That kind of go with our next topic. That kind of go with our next topic is Chivalry Dead. But before we do that, don't we got a few commercials and shout outs we got to do?
Yes, sir. Let's
break time.
Commercial. Let's get to commercial.
Got a bathroom break.
I was about to say he's trying.
We're gonna jump it off with our brother La Brea Trucker. Call that brother for all your trucking needs. Cross country, he tolls or trucks, delivers across country. Next one is our brother Clarence Muhammad and Muhammad's Meats. If you want some halal meat, if your religion requires that you eat a meat that's prepared a certain way, that brother prepares it that way. Your religious specs, whether you're Jewish, Muslim, or whatever other religion that you require to eat meat a certain type of way, he prepares it that way. So when you go get some barbecue, some beef ribs from that brother, it was prepared in that halal manner. And I'm let me shout out to my brother Crowder's variety store over there, the African market jumping off today. Yes. And then we have the Focus Up Show every Saturday at 9 a.m. with me, Mr. Floyd X, El Pooh, Mr. Nice Guy, the First Lady, and Mr. Walk. And we have a special guest. Today we got Brother Joshua. I think that's it. Any other shout outs anybody want to do?
Buddy Bud Music. Salute to Buddy Bud. Jason Lynn. Yo, what's poppin'? Okay. Did we get Toppy Woppy in there? Oh man.
That's right. He's asking you, Floyd.
Oh, Toppy Woppy? Let's get Toppy Woppy. Okay. Toppy
He's
Woppy.
still hungry.
I'm from the city of Compton, where you want to get your buzz. Light green and fluffy, sticky, smelly, and lovely. Got that powder too, you know what it do. Caribbean flavor.
Available on all platforms. That's Toppy Woppy. Putting it down, independent artist. Shout out to Mr. Toppy Woppy.
And I want to shout out Go Be Alive at gobealive.org. We had Sister Nidra on the show last week supporting that. So go get you that black honey.
Yes, sir. That was a great show last week, brother. That sister spoke when she was speaking on honey. I was in a trance. Like, damn, I never knew that. It's for your allergies, man. I love that, bro. I forgot this week. I was busy, but I'm going to clip that part. Put that part where she was out speaking it because she did a good job. Shout out to Sister Nidra. You did a good job, sister.
That's
Yeah,
right.
because them allergies be tearing your ass up for it. Hey, we be having meetings. I'll be like, bro, come on. Like, stop, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And shout out to Homies Way Car Club, JC, Foundation Focus Up Brother.
Salute to Brother JC. We miss you, brother.
We gotta have JC on the show. Like, yeah, JC the guest now. What's up, JC? What up, baby boy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, all right. That does a shout out. So now we're gonna get into our next topic. This is I guess the main topic, the lead topic that we show. What do we got here? Things women tend to like that men tend to hate, and vice versa. So let me start. Go ahead.
I got a list. Let me get on my list.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you probably have a whole scroll.
That's a joke. I'm bullshit.
Let me sit back for this one. Let me just relax right here and suck it all in. Get my tough skin ready. Go ahead, fellas.
You know, I've always felt that sisters, you know, they do a lot of stuff that they think is attractive and things that appeal to them. And dudes don't be caring nothing about that. You know, like for example, that whole baby hair phenomenon where they got that weird thing looking at the top, that stuff looks ridiculous. I don't know a single heterosexual man that looks at that and thinks that's some type of nice. And it's just like that. It's also the big eyelashes. You know, there's just so much stuff that sisters do that they love amongst themselves. They're like, "Ooh, that's so cute." And I'm telling you, guys just don't care about that stuff. But anybody else got something to say? I mean, I can go on and on, but I'm really not trying to dominate that conversation. You got you got something to say about that, Brother Walk?
Fake butts. I don't know where that's coming from. It does look good. I ain't gonna front. It do look good, but it don't feel the same. It's like having a brick stuff in this thing right here. It's like something's in there. It's like that's some. I don't know why they're doing it, but I think it's just because that's what they hear a lot about. People like big butts and white women, black women. Everybody's doing it, but that stuff ain't gonna hold up when you get in your 50s and your 60s, baby girl. What you gonna have to have it removed, like our sister China Black.
Hey, I was in Miami last week, and I saw Dr. Miami on this cruise ship. Numbers bullshit. That's a joke. But, I was out there in Miami, and you know, there's a lot of the artificial behinds out there, and sitting on the beach. I was calling them out and looking, but I gotta say, they don't look as bad as I thought they looked up close and in person. They're not as bad as when you see them on TV when we see some of the extreme ones. But that's to say, sisters shouldn't get it. But let me stick to the subject. Things,
but
yeah, No. Things women tend to like that men tend to hate, and vice versa. Now, there are men that like fake butts, and I don't know. I haven't heard not one man say he likes the eyelashes. Have y'all ever heard a man say, "Oh, I like those. Those look beautiful"?
Never.
When they get those extreme ones, it's ridiculous. Sisters, we don't know why y'all do it. We don't know what it's for. We don't understand where it came from. None of that. It's excessive.
It does make up some chicks look a little cuter. Like that darkening of the eye. It's on some chicks it do. I seen the chick and it was like some is ridiculous. But some is like, that's kind of cute. But see, here's the thing though. That's like some one-time only SHIT. You feel me? What about this? When you wake up in the morning, that caterpillar's on the damn table. It's gonna scare the hell out of you.
Yeah. With Brother Joshua, what's your take on this being an FOI? How do the FOI feel? Wait, stick to the subject. I keep moving off. We're not here to criticize this. Let me take that back.
Yeah.
Vice versa. Speak on it, Brother Joshua.
Yes, sir. I would think probably just the way that the culture is moving for our sisters, right? And I think brothers bear a lot of responsibility for it because hip hop do really create the culture these days. And in the 90s, we kind of put our sisters out in a certain type of way. We hypersexualized them, had Snoop Dogg walking them on chains like dogs and stuff like this. But now you see our sisters doing it to themselves. Like, I don't know if y'all seen, Sexy Red and the new Cardi B video, and she talking about my blank pink, my blanky blank brown, and all that. Like, brothers don't like that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't want your wife, you don't want your significant other, your wife, I'll just say wife, I ain't gonna say girlfriend, to be out here like that. Yes, but we got to bear some of the responsibility for putting her out like that first. But that's the main thing. I think that it's become a culture shift, and I think a lot of the sisters is kind of into it, especially the younger ones. But brothers don't really like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't gonna teach you serious and try to wife you up if you're coming out like that. Not to knock my sisters, but it is something that we got to point out. Because when you try to get on it and you try to criticize it, there's a lot of sisters, sisters in that culture, but then also sisters in the academy and these schools and stuff that will defend that behavior. And I think it's something that's really detrimental to us.
Yes, sir.
El Pooh?
Yeah, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. And I guarantee every man agrees with me. Shopping.
Things people tend to like that men tend to hate. Okay. I can agree with that. I agree with that, El Pooh. My wife does shopping. I'm like, oh, God. I just want Kane to get some shorts.
No talk. Just want to get in and out.
Yes, sir.
You know what? And also, the super caking on of makeup. I mean, this is something that I can't stand. And then it's like you can't even touch him. So you're sitting there looking like Ronald, with Ronald McDonald. All this extra foundation, all this other stuff. Just rock your natural flesh and let it breathe and let it be what it is what it is. You don't need to be perfectly the same color, but what you definitely don't want to look is just completely fictitious. So I hate that stuff. What you about to say?
Hey, that happened to me when I first got with her. I got with her, she was looking like Halle Berry. The next month, she was looking like the junkyard dog.
So, yeah, we've been piling on. So educate us, First Lady J. What's the stuff that
Page 1.
Uh-oh.
Page 3.
Let's go, First Lady.
Oh, man.
Oh, y'all gonna zoom in on me. How funny. Okay. If you have a cul-de-sac, cut your hair off. Go on. We do not like those hair fillers. We do not like those men wigs at all. Take it off. We don't care about you getting pedicures, manicure, but the clear polish, we don't need. Take the clear polish off.
Amen. Horn for that one. Horn for that one.
The eyebrow arching. Leave that to the women. We don't need you guys out there arching your eyebrows, tinting your eyebrows. Cologne overload. We can smell you from 6 feet away. We don't need you to pour the whole entire bottle on. We can smell you. Quit being so cocky and flossing. Be yourself. You don't need to pull out your stack of money with 100 on top and a 20 in there and a bunch of ones in between. We don't need that. all that going to the gym, trying to be bodybuilders, working out. We want your penis to stay a certain size. So don't come out there showing your upper muscle and you don't have a lower muscle.
Ouch.
We pull on that part.
Yeah.
So, I'm not here
Yeah.
to put you guys down. I'm just
Felt
here.
like it.
Hey, there's one more thing. Women like to complain.
It's not complaining.
Obviously.
It's help uplifting and building.
Yeah, nah.
It's not complaining. There are a few other things that I
Educate us.
I'm trying to educate you, man. One thing that I asked a couple of women a question, and believe it or not, a lot of women said that they cannot stand men with their socks on and their slides on. That is not a nice look. And if you're 60 years old, 50 years old, and trying to dress like you're 20 years old, be yourself. Don't try to jump in feeling like that's what we like women are cougars and they want a man, and vice versa. Just because men are attracted to younger women or a certain way, we okay with you being yourself. We like seeing you dress normal. You don't have to go out there to get the Yeezys and so forth. Be you. Just dress accordingly. You don't have to dress like you're still a little teenager.
50, 60 years old, dressing like you Offset, right? That's what you say.
Pretty much. Be yourself. The cockiness is a big turnoff. Just just feeling like you just all that. Be natural, be yourself, because in the long run, it's gonna come out eventually. You can only play that role for so long.
Hey, real quick, let me say something real quick. When I put on my young clothes, I call myself NBA Young Floyd.
And if you know you have a big tummy, like us women, if your tummy it's okay to get your shirt a little bit bigger so it can button right, and especially if you're gonna be tucking it in your pants, and wearing your belt. And one of the big things that we do not like men that sagging. We do not. If you spell sagging backwards, what do you get? Niggas.
Hey,
my goodness. My goodness.
Hey, when did Rick Ross join the show?
What the hell? Freeway Ricky looking motherfucker.
Does he really? Thank you. Keep him off the screen. You do not need to sag. That is not attractive to us.
We need an anti-horn. That was a violation.
He wanted to share his male.
There we go. There we go. Okay.
I'm back now. Yeah.
I think I better stop while I'm ahead before you guys take me off the show.
It was and going. You was the Energizer Bunny over there.
Well, it's only one of me and 5 of you guys.
I appreciate
Right.
that.
Well, bring your friends on. But here's something else that men is like this. Ladies, I did that for a reason. Check this out. This is some advice that I'm going to give on Sex Talk with Walt Thursday at 9 p.m. Yeah, I thought I was going to say a.m. Yeah.
Hey, El Pooh said every few Thursdays.
Every first Thursday of the month.
Every few Thursdays.
If you weigh more than me, keep your shirt on. Men don't like that.
Man. Hey, man, embrace you.
That's advice.
Embrace you. Some people like skin. Hey, some people like them big girls. So, do you get with
keep your shirt on during the SEX. Keep your shirt on.
But one of the biggest things for us,
my Muslim brother got me. My Muslim brother up there, he got me. I'm like, I'm not even cursing. I'm like, I gotta behave. My boy's on here. He up there.
And we're gonna stick your picture in the corner every show.
Yeah,
he's gonna be the background.
The FOIs have that effect on you, bro. The FOIs have that effect. Yes,
I remember I went to the mosque a few times with my brother right here, and it was like, you better behave. Don't get it twisted. You'll get fucked up in here. Like that was the feeling, but that made you like okay, we got to stay on point up in here. These brothers ain't playing. That's why I always salute the nation, and I have much respect for all the nation of Islam. Period.
The fact that
We
they
gotta,
can
we
rock
gotta
that,
be our brother's keeper, man. We gotta be our brother's keepers for real.
and the fact that y'all could rock that security so tough without weapons, I mean, that was like for real. That was a beautiful thing, you know. So that, you know, I mean, to me, I'm gonna have
They ain't
weapons.
got no weapons if you want, nigga.
Yeah, I'm gonna have weapons, but I'm just saying that's just how they. I'm just saying that they still were able to handle that business without that. That's a testament. Yeah, I'm gonna be weaponed up, personally, but you know.
Those FOIs are weapons.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's right. So we're gonna get into this next topic. We got a little bit of time, but is chivalry dead? I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna give that to Walk because I know he really liked this, and I don't know how much time we got left. But go ahead, brother Walk. How you feel about this?
Chivalry is dead. Chivalry is dead, and the reason why is because women's attitude toward you trying to be, is this a word? Chivalrous? I think that's a word. Chivalrous. If you're trying to be that gentleman and that guy, like a gentleman, like my dad taught me to be, that was my example. I seen that my whole entire life with my uncles, everyone, as with the lady, open the door and do this, and we're going to cater to them and just be a stoked gentleman. Nowadays, these chicks ain't about none of that. They like, like it's you, and all that craziness. So I really do feel it is dead. Like, cause I know when I'm out in public, I'm on guard. Let me tell a quick story. Put that back on me, bro. I was on a train, and a young lady, she had a bag or something where she couldn't lift it up. I had my headphones on. I'm listening to my music. I'm zoned out. So I just picked up the bag and helped her put it on. And she got to saying all kind of stuff. Now, I didn't even hear her, and I seen her attitude. So I kept it moving. Then a brother came to me. He was like, bro, what did you do to her? She just, for no reason, just was on me like, don't touch my bag. Right? That's what he said she was saying, but I didn't hear what she said, but I seen her attitude. And that's why I think chivalry is dead, because I'm not going to help your raggedy ass out no more. Anyway, that's how cats are just feeling in general in society, dealing with our sisters.
Yeah.
Chivalry is only dead for the individual. You are who you are. So I think that's an optional thing, chivalry. Like Walk just said, like that one woman may have killed it for him, and it shouldn't be that way. That's that particular woman. If that is your motto, to go and open the door, close the door, pull out the chair for a person, be that person. It's an independent thing. I feel like once again it comes in with that feeling intimidated when you shouldn't have to. If you are a man, act like a man at all times. If you're a lady, act like a lady at all times. People are saying that chivalry is dead because of that Me Too situation, but it's really an individual thing. If you are a man, stay a man and be that man. Don't let one person kill it for you. Be who you say you are.
Hey, a non-producer got a horn. You know, it's a rare event, but salute.
Be who you say you are. Thank you, sister. What you got to say about it?
Chivalry.
What you got to say about it, brother Joshua?
Oh man, I think in the larger culture of America, chivalry is definitely dying. But I think that there's factors at play that are attacking it and attacking manhood, trying to turn men into women, trying to kill the man so that the state, the government, is the only real form of manhood. But I think that in certain groups, and like the sister said, the individuals, I know in the Nation of Islam, it ain't dead at all. It's live, functioning well.
Damn.
You go to one of the events, the chivalry's there, the manhood is there. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
But in the larger culture of what's going on, I don't think it's occurring naturally. I think it's factors that are impacting our society that's trying to kill manhood, from even down to a scientific level. The testosterone in men today is lower than what it was yesterday. when you squeeze a man's hand, you have less pressure in your handshake. They've done studies on this than with your father hand.
Damn.
And even men and women have some of the same grips nowadays than what we did 30, 40 years ago. So there's a scientific and then there's a cultural assault on manhood, and that's just a fact.
Damn. Hey, let's go
Next week on the Focus Up Show, the death of manhood. Oh.
Let's go to the comments real quick. We got the brother Corey Zek saw a funny skit one time, a horror movie style. Mike Myers was approaching a girl and she goes, "Oh my God, somebody help me." The guy shows up. He says, "Get behind me. I got you." She goes, "Oh, damn, that don't, oh, here we go. I have a boyfriend." And the situation just gets
Tacky after
that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Corey Zek. All right. But
Corey Zek blocked.
Of course you're not.
No, you're not.
Stop saying that.
No, you're not. You're not blocked. That's just his
That's
humor.
right. We appreciate that.
We appreciate your input, brother. Yes, sir. But
block walk.
Yeah, real quick. Block.
I got one thing to say about this though. Listen, females, if you want a thug, a roughneck, or a gangster, don't expect any chivalry.
Just like that.
Yep.
Just like that.
I disagree.
You said you disagree, Walt?
I disagree with what Elpo said.
Okay. We have overtime.
Hey, listen to MC like Roughneck. He would, huh? What was that?
Yeah. Very. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, how MC Light came with that song Roughneck. Got to get a roughneck. She ain't want no chivalrous man in that song.
Yeah, they like that. There's that sort of bad boy moth to a flame type dynamic with a lot of women. I'm not saying all women, First Lady, but I'm just saying that is an observation that a lot of us seen, that some women are drawn by dudes that are kind of tough and kind of mean and nasty, or not really doing much or anything. I mean, you see those guys when the lady's at the gas station and pumping her own gas and the dude's sitting in the car. That's
an independent woman.
Hey, real quick. I just want to say thank you to Brother Joshua for joining the show today. It was appreciated. Mighty FOI, it's great to have an FOI on the show, and you give great insight. We appreciate you, brother. And also, I appreciate the point you said about chivalry is alive and well in the Nation of Islam, because I remember my FOI days that it was alive and well. We used to escort sisters home, drive a 30-minute drive with sister home. We drive it to her house and make sure she make it home safely. FOI, I agree, it's alive and well. And then the last point I wanted to make was that the last point I wanted to make was